Hola, it's that Cuber lady finishing up at the Latino school. No more Spanish. I love me gusta español, pero no más. ¿Verdad? You know, like I love it, but no more. Basically, this video has got a whole bunch of things. I'm gonna start with Instagram. Actually, forget Instagram. I'm gonna announce Midwest Speed Cubing is meeting June 24th on Saturday at 9:30 to 12:30 at the Omaha Public Library Saddlebrook branch. Oof, it's a beautiful space. It's very majestic. Hopefully you're in the area and can come. Anybody can just come. Just come. Anyway, so let's jump to Instagram. No, I'm not going to be serving vegan pizza at my competitions, you know. Bring your own food if you don't want to eat animal products like I do. At Mars Mix Up, I brought leftover Chipotle and I was perfectly happy with that. Yeah, so basically somebody's requested I order vegan pizzas. Like, huh? Because I don't eat animal products means that I have to force my diet on other people and make them eat like I eat. Like, when I order pizza, I just don't put cheese on it and I pile it with vegetables and put pineapple on it. And I'm not going to do that to everybody else or put some nasty vegan cheese on pizza. Ugh. Forget that. It's like you're better off finding a recipe on YouTube to make your own cheese and then do it from there. Like, oh. Anyway, maybe if you know some delicious vegan cheese, put it in the comment section below. You know, I know Whole Foods has a whole bunch, but it's like I'm not going to be spending $5, $6, $7 for a pack of cheese here willy-nilly just to taste it. It's like, let me know if it's really good. So yeah, this whole thing, I was actually really upset, you know, really pissed off per se. But I went on a really long walk out in nature, and now it's like I feel totally zen, you know, like you know, yeah, I feel great. I can hardly remember what it was all about, but essentially, basically, like, you know, I'll give you the story. You know, Drake bought Mr. I'm getting way faster at cubing than Kristen Wiley was asking me to do a video on, you know, how I made the transition from being a meat addict to a no thank you to the meat situation. And so I'll talk about what happened on Instagram, then I'll talk about how I got into veganism. So feel free to get in a few solves during this video because you will be able to. So yeah, you know, it's like as a person that eats the way I eat, it's like, oh, are there other cubers that you know, do the same thing? And, you know, there's of course the extreme opposite. I was following somebody where his story had him like doing this weird video with his friends where they were doing that, you know, where you sneak the camera through and everyone's holding perfectly still. I can't remember what that's called, but everybody was like holding a piece of this deer that they'd hunted and killed. And so like they had the heart and all this blood and the deer, and it was just like, oh, and they were just like all up in it, and it's just like, oh my god. And this guy was a cuber, you know, this guy's a cuber. So I just unfollowed him. You know, I didn't need to jump all in his ass like, oh, you know, that's cruel, you're this, you're that, you know, you this, you that, you know, which is what people do. It's just like, oh, just keep that out of my view. It's like, if you love meat, you go ahead and love it. I'm gonna be over here with not looking, you know, basically. And so that's all I did. And so I was kind of looking for the opposite. Like, you know, I made my veggie cuber video. I found out that Cubers Anonymous was a vegetarian. So if you want to check him out on Instagram, I think he recently broke his leg. And well, there's this other guy, Veggie Fingers, Vegan Fingers on Instagram. Like, you know, this guy, you know, everybody knows DL Cubing. I have a feeling that DL Cubing is following everybody and he messages everybody all the time. So in the comment section below, let me know if DL Cubing is following you, because he like follows everybody and talks to like everybody probably. And so he was sending me some of the vegan cubers and stuff, and I was looking at them. Keep in mind, you know, I'm totally over this label of vegan thing. I used to be the cubing vegan unicyclist on YouTube and Instagram, but then I wasn't unicycling so much, and then the cubing thing took over, so I changed my name to that cuber lady, and I'm really tempted to change it again. Drop in the comment section below what you think I should change my name to. But I was going to I dropped the vegan part, and you know, and I actually spent a little bit of time being kind of vegetarian. You know, I'd eat some fish, I'd get some of these delicious DiGiorno. They were like these organic, natural, like they're like these little pizzas that were like, they were all like veggie pizzas, but you know, like say margarita or veggie, or like they also had this spinach one. This was super good, and I was just like, man, you know, I need to get off of this cheese, because this was like a couple of months ago actually. I need to quit eating this cheese. So, you know, I recommitted back. So I want to thank, you know, some of those vegans out there on Instagram that continually had the footage of the cows, you know, of the poor dairy cows and all that stuff, which is like, yeah, you know, which is reinforcing me like, yes, get back off the dairy. So it's like, okay, I got back off the dairy, you know, and I've been off the dairy, and it's super awesome. And so, you know, it's like, it's essentially like I'd recommitted to the plant-based lifestyle, and I was making meals and eating healthy. And, you know, as you can see, if you follow me on Instagram, you know, I've been getting into tofu and getting, you know, because I just need more. I need more fiber and protein in my diet and everything. So I was working on meals and stuff, you know, less salt. You know, eating at home is healthier anyway in general. So that's what I was kind of committing to. So of course the guy starts asking me and Cubers Anonymous, you know, why are you vegetarian? And then of course Cubers Anonymous puffs up his chest like, oh, I'm not vegetarian anymore, I'm vegan now, you know. And it's like, thumbs up, bro, good for you, I'm so proud. So I was just like, congratulations, like, good for you, it's a big deal, I guess. And I was just like, you know, and I just kind of described my situation like, you know, I don't eat eggs or drink milk or eat cheese, but however, this guy eats meat. He's all wet. I dried him off. And anyway, that guy eats meat, and I'm going to continue to make him some meat. You know, oh my gosh, this dog, he could actually be my grandfather. My grandfather passed away on my dad's side in like 19, you know, early 90s, when I was very young, you know, like say 4 or 3, something like that. And he always had to have meat with every single meal. And this dog is super, super picky. So when I moved down to Omaha, I actually started to like get it like a pack of, like, say get a pack of chicken drummies, pop it in the oven, and then you debone them when they come out. And then I just I chop some of it up, throw it on his dog food, and he'll eat it. And you know, it's you know, he looks all chunky sitting there, but when I was watching him run around, he looked all sleek and sexy and muscular. Anyway, he's anyway. So he eats meat, so I'm still contributing to animal suffering, because I still buy meat for him and treats, dog food, you know, things like that. So sometimes I do make homemade peanut butter treats for him that don't have any animal products, and you know, he did eat vegan dog food for a little while, but he doesn't like to eat the same dog food forever. You know, if I buy a giant bag, he'll eventually start to protest the bag no matter what's in there. And so I have to switch up the flavors all the time, and there aren't enough flavors of animal-free dog food. So that's just not going to happen. And then also I mentioned that, you know, I have leather seats, you know, I've been given leather coats, I inherited fur coats, and at my competitions and my club's competitions and at school, you know, I don't serve the people non-dairy, non-animal product food. I serve them regular food. You know, the concession stand is nachos, hot dogs, pizza, stuff like that. I gave my students ice cream bars last Friday. Oh no, I didn't spend $8 on a box of vegan ice cream bars, blow, oh no, so so it's like, that's how it is. It's like, at home, here's how I eat, but here's how I live. And this guy, Vegan Fingers, started saying I should serve vegan pizza at my competitions. And then he said, you're not vegan enough. You're not committed. You're not following your morals. So, like, so yeah, that really bugged me. And so part of growing in your consciousness is cutting through the noise, because that's all it is a bunch of noise, like, noise trying to disrupt me. Because like right now I'm actually going to be working on working on all the things. I got a list of things to do for my cubing thing, like I'm going to put in a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to talk to you about my nonprofit, actually. Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to do in a minute. But yeah, so that bugged me. Anyway, how did I get off of my meat addiction? So for 25 years, I was addicted to meat, meat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, meat. Forget those vegetables, F those nasty vegetables, And so basically, I actually can't really remember the whole thing, but I know that, back in high school, I think I saw, some slaughterhouse footage. That's of course where it starts, is you start to see those things going on, and part of the growth in consciousness is getting a look into what's actually going on, because most people are just kind of functioning based off of what things look like, with their, like, what's going on around them, immediately around them. And society is keeping so many things hidden from us. Society is keeping so many things hidden from us, and then when you finally get a glimpse of that, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't I can't be a part of this anymore. So I remember, like, way back, I saw it, and I didn't eat any meat at Thanksgiving that the next Thanksgiving. After that, I didn't see any more of that footage or anything like that. So, your habits build back up, and I was back onto eating my meat, my meat addiction and all that sort of stuff. And also I had a roommate in college that was a vegetarian, and I was like, oh, why are you vegetarian? She was like, for the animals. And that's all she put. I mean, cause I didn't realize that, there was the whole, like, people getting preachy thing, people getting pushy and aggressive about their views thing. So all she did was say, for the animals, and that's all she said. She backed off. She didn't say anything else. And then today, when I was walking, I realized that, yeah, I was totally open to receiving her message, but she didn't. But of course, you wouldn't be sure if or when somebody wants to receive your message. So, years go by. I go to Spain. Carne, give me carne. Like, that's what, she was. My host mom in Spain was always like, ¿Quieres comer? What do you want to eat? I said, carne, por favor, give me some meat. And so I'd say I moved to Omaha still eating meat. And then, I saw one thing I did do while I was still eating meat was I started educating myself. I started watching a lot of documentaries. I'll put the documentaries in the description that I watched, but I watched... First, I watched Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It was a guy who was unhealthy. He was trying to change his life. He was wealthy, so he was living the wealthy life, eating all the, steak, chicken, and shrimp, and all that stuff. But it was causing him all this illness, and he was taking all these medications, and so he decided to do a 90-day juice fast. He was doing just juice. And that was the phrase that he would always use, just juice. And so he did that for 90 days. And that's what actually got me into juicing, because I would constantly see the Jack LaLanne Power Juicer infomercials. And I was like, man, I want to get a juicer too. So that really pushed me to getting a juicer. And I started juicing. And the great thing was I still kept my regular diet. I was still a meat eater at the time. But... and I loved steak. But I would juice every single morning, and I was working with kids with severe, profound disabilities, boogers, green boogers coming out of the nose. All the teachers were losing their voices and getting so sick, but I was like, I'll put money that I'm not getting sick because I make juice every single day. And I was making juice every single day and I did not get sick. So if you want to keep the doctor away, you want to keep the flu away, you want to keep the cold away, make juice every single day. My juice would have like 9 different ingredients. It doesn't have to have 9 ingredients because like even now I'm actually going to make like an apple celery juice sometime pretty soon, but just, I would just like, it's as simple as apple carrot, apple spinach, apple kale, real simple, but back then I would put blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, apple, beets, carrots, spinach, kale, ginger, lemon juice, the list would just be going on and on. And I was just like, yeah, and I would always tell my sister, man, this shit will save your life, as I had the glass, chugging it down. So that was kind of the health piece starting. And then after that, I saw, let's see, from there, I think I started to get into YouTube, like watching some of these YouTube channels slowly let's see. I really, the whole gap in between, kind of like my journey from learning beginner's method to CFOP is totally blurry, just like how this line is totally blurry. But eventually I started watching a lot of vegan cooking recipes because I was like, how do people make this food without animal products and stuff like that? So I'd kind of watch them make food, and I found that the whole monkey see, monkey do concept takes over, where you start copying what other people are doing. So I started copying what they were doing, and the more I learned about eggs, chicken periods, and you watch them come out, you learn about the cholesterol, you continually see the animals going through, learning about their consciousness and how intelligent they are and curious and how they have a sense of community and family and all those things, and how we're exploiting that by reproducing them by the billions, which is completely inappropriate. And how all of the waste that they're secreting is going into our waterways, and I saw a video about how this pig factory would use this huge, it was football fields big of their waste, and they would take it and they would spray it, and so and of course it was near a primarily black area, so it would make the people sick. And so it interviewed the people, and they were talking about, I have all these respiratory problems, and they would talk about how they were very sick all the time and things like that. So basically it's not so much, it's kind of like the animals, the earth, the people, the ethics behind it. And, I was still eating I still eat my regular diet, my meat, but the more I educated myself, I remember I was in mid-meal. I think I can remember what I was eating. I was eating like some sort of a popcorn chicken, boneless buffalo thing, and a chicken thing. And I was like, and I looked at the piece of chicken and I was like, man, I am not doing this anymore. And I took the food and I threw it in the trash, and I haven't eaten any meat since. And that was about 6 years ago now. That might have been 6 years ago, and I was a vegetarian from then. I still drank milk. I eventually cut out the milk, learned about all these plant-based milks, eventually cut out the cheese, tried plant-based cheeses. The best thing you can do if you're going to make some homemade cheese is make your own nacho cheese. And yeah, I'm gonna cut this video off at 20 minutes, because a 20-minute video for me is like, what, 20 minutes? So yeah, so basically I spent so much time deprogramming my brain. Some documentaries to help you deprogram your brain. Forks Over Knives. Fat, Sick, and Nearly... Forks Over Knives. Yes. Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Cowspiracy. And I can't think, and there's one that I won't watch because right away there's animal suffering, and at the time I was vegan when I saw it. Vegan. I don't even label myself that anymore. Forget that. But I wasn't eating animal products at the time, and when I saw it, I just couldn't. I couldn't watch it because of the suffering and everything, but that one's called Earthlings. You can watch that one as well. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll see you when I'm about to talk about my nonprofit in depth. Bye.